Don't know why my hair's gone all like crazy, mad scientist all of a sudden. But that shouldn't matter because the face that it's housed on is absolutely flawless. Said no one ever. So today we're going back over to Northern Monk and we're having another venture into the absolutely fantastic Northern Monk Patrons Project series, which is, for me, probably the best concept in brewing at the moment. It's probably one of the best creative initiatives that I'm seeing in brewing, and yeah, I know it's been going for a couple of years now, but I just love it because I love seeing not only artists but chefs and even athletes, even though I'm far from, you know, a fine example of athleticism, but it's great to see all of these different sort of aspects of culture and disciplines coming together and creating some what have genuinely been wonderful beers. And Northern Monk have just really shot up in my opinion. I'd always been a fan of them, but this past year or so they've just been absolutely mega. And I was actually at the Refectory in Manchester fairly recently, where I actually had this beer on keg. I'd completely forgotten the name of this beer and forgotten that I'd had it after I'd been to Indie Man. I would have been using my Northern Monk Refectory glass, but I smashed it, so I'll have to buy myself a new one. But yeah, picked this up from Northern Beer Temple in Wigan. And I also picked up a can of the Don't Mess With Manchester because I did actually buy the t-shirt whilst in Manchester, but never tried the beer, and lo and behold, I picked it up. So yeah, so I'm a big fan of not only Northern Monk but also the Patrons Project, and yeah, it's great to see them now in Manchester, and opens up so many opportunities, collaborations, gets people to try their beers even fresher than some of the cans coming out. It's a great thing. Plus, they've got Timothy Taylor for the normies on tap, or the uber trad crowd. But yeah, Timothy Taylor's Landlord's a damn good beer, so I think that's a really smart move for them to have that on. And I'd probably end up having a pint of that because I know for a fact that it'd probably be in better condition than some of the other places that you can have it on tap. But anyway. So yeah, safe to say I'm a big fan. And yeah, I was actually, I had the honour of sharing a glass of this with my good friend Rob from Hopscene, who provided me with a ticket for Indie Man. 'Twas a great day, it really was, until it was ruined at the end, where I had to get a taxi from Manchester to Skelmersdale, which cost me £38 because Northern Rail are utter arseholes, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I understand why they are striking and things like that, because it's such a terribly run organisation. The new timetables have messed everything up, but at least have some countermeasures put in place, or alternative forms of transport. Don't just at the last minute decide, do you know what, we're going to cancel this bus replacement service on a whim. Because you would have left so many people stranded in Manchester, and on a Saturday night, you know, you'd be lucky to get a fucking hostel room in Manchester. But anyway, small rant out of the way, it didn't ruin the day at all. It was a wonderful day. And yeah, so now I get to actually review this beer on the channel. So what beer is that, of course? It's the excuse me, Once, Twice, Three Times a Whale, which is a collaboration between Northern Monk and Finback, with artwork courtesy of James Butler. So let me just open up this label. James Butler, of course, being a Bradford born or based tattoo artist, who I think he's done other can designs for the Patrons Project, so it's not his first time collaborating with the brewery. But yeah, just take another look at that label. How fantastic is that? And then inside, of course, you've got a little bit of blurb about the artist, Finback, and then some examples of his work. I really need to get myself a tattoo, but I don't want to be one of those people who just gets a tattoo because they feel they need to get a tattoo. I want to really think about it. But yeah, so as is always the case with these, I'll obviously go through the beer and then quickly read the information in there, because some people might not be able to get hold of these cans by the time I get these videos uploaded. So the beer itself, this label keeps flapping around everywhere. So it's Northern Monk Patrons Project 3.05, and it's a double India Pale Ale, clocking in at 8.2% ABV, 440ml can. It's a Mosaic edition, and obviously the collaboration is between James Butler, Northern Monk and Finback, and the beer is called Once Twice, Three Times a Whale. So, Finback. Finback was founded back in 2011, a brewery born from a passion for brewing and experimentation. After a long search through the back streets, along canals, under bridges and industrial no-man's lands, braving collapsing roofs and cardboard box jungles, the brewery finally found their space in Queens, New York in 2013. Finback is proud to call Queens their home, and the brewery has become a firm part of the diverse and rich culture of the borough. Hashtag... Oh, what's that programme called? I was trying to be dead funny then, but it didn't work. King of Queens. There we go. I was trying to make some sort of King of Queens reference. But one is a high quality brewery and one is a lowbrow comedy with a very unfunny lead character. So the main aim is to make great beer following their passion for flavour and complexity from quality ingredients and small batch artisanal brewing. Fun, unique beers made for enjoyment, most important as something to drink with friends in the backyard, at the beach or at the bar. They make beer to drink. It's delicious, fresh, and because they just like to smile. That sentence doesn't seem right to me. It probably is, but I probably just read it like an absolute dick, but whatever. So yeah, I have had a Finback beer, and it was the collaboration with Burnt Mill, the Swimming with Giants, which was top notch, absolute top notch. But yeah, James Butler is a tattoo artist from Bradford who started his tattooing career in Headingley in 2013, having dropped out of his fine art course at university, and has since been honing his craft in Leeds city centre. Tattooing, usually with only black ink, his style focuses on creating contrast between solid black, fine lines, dots and negative space. While striving to create original artworks, James' roots and loves of tattooing still lie firmly in traditional Western tattooing styles with a modern ornamental twist. And then today's literature lesson comes to an end as I quickly read notes about the beer itself. So at MBCC, we had the pleasure of meeting a number of incredible US breweries, one of those being Basil and Kevin, the fans of Finback. We're huge fans of these guys' beer at NBC Co HQ, and the fact that the guys behind it all are such fantastic people just makes the beer taste all the better. We first brewed together at their home in New York. It's a tough life. In June, after attending other Fullscreen City Festival. It's a tough life. The beer of choice was a double IPA utilising citra hops in three forms: leaf, T90 and cryo powder over a simple base of Pilsner malt and flaked oats. Both parties were so delighted with the results when Kevin and Basil came over to the UK for London Craft Beer Festival. It's a hard life. It only seemed right to continue the theme. This time we brewed the same beer but switched it up with Mosaic hops. Expect it a silky combo of berry fruit notes, tropical mango and bubblegum flavour from the intense multi-dimensional hop. So yeah, class dismissed, but yeah, just once again, fantastic artwork with some whale action, a bit of wordplay on the craft beer scene, and as is always the case, links to everyone involved in the production of this beer will be included in the description, as well as Northern Beer Temple, because it's my favourite bottle shop. So yeah, as I said, using my Indie Man 2018 glass. And let's see what we get. It's probably not the best glass to be doing reviews in because it's such a short measure, but oh well. So beer in a glass then, and it's slightly hazy. Well, not as hazy as some of these beers. I'd imagine if it was in a bigger glass and with more beer in there, it would have bulked up. because I do remember it being a bit more hazy than this, but we shall see. And yeah, but lovely sort of ambery, orangey tones, lovely sort of very dark yellowy hues. Beer poured with about 1 finger's worth of a white head. Nice compact bubbles. It's got a level of creaminess. Lovely head retention as well as you rock it back and forth. So yeah, it's certainly looking lovely. So let's give it a sniff. Ooh. It's actually quite gentle on the nose. It's really not punchy at all. But there's this really, I've just picked it up now, this lovely sweet raspberry jam aroma coming out, with a little bit of a subtle mango chutney aroma. Oh, it's even like a dark honey nose coming out of this one. A little bit of citrus character. It's got sort of like a sherbet lemon vibe about it, or like a tropical jelly sweet. Oh yeah, but that smells really, really nice. Again, it's not in your face or anything like that. It's really quite nice and reined in. But yeah, I'm predominantly getting berries on the nose. Cranberries as well. Loads of like jam and stewed fruits. But a real sense of vibrancy about it as well. Well, it's certainly smelling damn good, so let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that is so gentle. It's so gentle and smooth. It's not punchy in the slightest. It's not big. It's not brash. That's like the most easygoing double IPA that I think I've ever had. Yeah, I'm not getting that 8.2% at all. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's still got the body of that, of course. Ooh. Oh, what a real treat this is. Yeah, I get slightly camp when I get excited, so I do apologise. But yeah. John was telling me in Northern Beer Temple, actually, we were discussing this beer because, you know, indie man, then going to Northern Monk. I'm not really going to remember too much about the beer, let's be honest. Although I wish I did get that girl's phone number. I'm cursed when it comes to that sort of stuff, I swear. Whenever those rare times an opportunity presents itself where I could potentially get a mate, it just doesn't happen. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. As I was saying before I went into self-deprecation mode, we were talking about this beer, and he was saying when he drank it, it's a lovely beer, but there's something a little bit different about it, which just makes it stand out and adds a totally different layer. And I'm really getting that. You're getting those like slightly tropical tones. You're getting a bit of a citrus character. A very low IBU count this beer, but it's not ridiculously sweet, so you do get a bitterness on the back end. It's a smooth, upper medium mouthfeel. It's velvety, it's luxurious. But yeah, it has those familiar flavours. But then there's this really like sticky, gooey, berry, jammy like character about it, which really helps. Not that the beer needs help, of course, because it's just an absolute triumph again from Northern Monk. I think I was too many beers in to truly appreciate this the first time I had it. Not that I didn't enjoy it, I loved it. It was just going down just as easy then as it is now. Oh, there's such a restrained and laid back double IPA. and it works beautifully. Getting loads of blueberry in there, because blueberry is one of my favourite flavours ever. So I'm getting that. There's this almost like sweet desserty cakiness about it as well. Loads of marmalade, jam. But what I love most is it's not big and brash. It's not screaming for your attention. It's just a wonderfully brewed and balanced beer with familiar flavours, but then a little twist. And it's all housed in that absolutely gorgeous artwork. That legitimately is a contender for one of the most satisfying beers that I've drank this year. And Northern Monk were already in that list with Infinity Vortex. So I think I could actually do a list of my favourite Northern Monk beers of 2018. And they've all come from this Patrons project. I'm in love with the Patrons project. I'm in love with Northern Monk. And yeah, this is definitely up there with one of the best beers that I've had. And that's 10 out of 10 beers I've had out of 2 from Finback, because the Swimming with Giants was just one of the most luxurious triple IPAs that I've ever had. Was it a triple IPA? I think it was about 12%, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of the ABV of Octopod? I don't know. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You just get transported. It sounds like I'm being really over the top and quite pretentious with my description of this beer, but it's got me in the zone. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I remember enjoying it when I had it on tap, but nowhere near as much as I'm enjoying it now. I find the subtlety in these hazier IPAs, but then again, it's not too hazy. It's not as hazy as most. I find the subtlety with beers like this really do champion it, but at the same time, I like it when there's a big bitterness. You know what I mean? I think basically when we get these hazy New England, Vermont style IPAs, I don't need it to be ridiculously sweet all the time. Although, again, Octopod, it's like balanced, but it's like on the fence of, is this actually a beer or is this just fruit? Is this like alcoholic fruit juice now? But again, one of my favourite beers of the year. I've said loads throughout this year that I'm getting a bit burnt out with these hazy IPAs. But I can guarantee when we're doing our Golden Pints list and stuff like that, quite a few of my favourite beers will probably be hazy IPAs, because when they're done right, they're just so satisfying to drink, and I genuinely appreciate it when there's something unique about them. And that's it. I can't really put my finger on that like difference and that unique, that USP with this beer. And I don't think it's the freshest actually. Let me see. Best before 14th of the 1st, 2019. I don't think it's the freshest of beers. So maybe time has actually really benefited this beer as well. But yeah, that's remarkable stuff. It really, really is. I think you got the idea about that about 5 minutes ago. But I do tend to go on. I don't talk much in person, but if you present a beer like me, a beer like this to me, then I could talk to you for hours about it. It's weird, isn't it, how, you know, you can come out with your shell, not just because, oh, I'm getting drunk, no, it's because you find common ground. Ooh, common grounds. You find common ground, and then things blossom. And yeah, and that brought me to a point where I was meeting up with Rob from Hopscene and spending a day in Manchester with him, where we both enjoyed this ridiculously remarkable beer. It really, really is. And yeah, Northern Monk, they're doing it right. They're doing everything right. They're expanding right. They're doing the supermarket scene right. The collaborations, the Patrons project, their core range, their other beers that they brew, they're just doing an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. And any Northern Monk beer that you could get your hands on, give it a go. They're one of those sort of breweries I've found with this Patrons project. It's when I've not enjoyed a beer, it's not because of brewing faults or quality issues, it's just because not my thing. But this is just fantastic. One of the best beers of the year for me, that, definitely. So if you have tried it, then let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Of course, I think a few of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this one, so their links will be included. Check out Northern Monk, check out Finback, check out James Butler, check out my Patrons Project playlist, because that's steadily growing. Got another one in the this thing, which I'm looking forward to, which is a nice stout. So, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. If you have tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. And yeah, I'm in a really good mood now, but now I can't drink anymore because I've got work tomorrow. So I'm ending on a high. So thank you for watching, putting up with my absolute nonsense for over 20 minutes. Jesus Christ, I do apologise. Well, you watched it. And yeah, check out Northern Monk. They're doing an absolutely wonderful job at the moment, and they have been doing it for a long time, let's be honest. So, thanks for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.